Hi there. This week we are working on image correction, which is the power of Photoshop. A lot of you probably have some experience with image correction because of all the stuff you do on your phones. So this is a good, and it's a pretty fast chapter, but realize you will have lots of separate images to turn in. So you may have to go back and you could zip them all together if you want, but there's a lot of individual things to turn in this week, but it is a fast chapter. But I also wanted to show you that the book does a couple of things I wanted to warn you about on this chapter. So the first thing I wanted to show you, this is a photo that the very first photo that they have you dealing with. It's going to, you can do it the way that, let me show you the way the book has you do it, and then I'm going to show you a better way. So what the book says to do is to grab the rectangular marquee tool. By the way, the easiest one to be in this week is the photography workspace. If you go into the photography workspace, you'll have all the tools that you need for this week. So you can click right here, or you can go to Window, Workspace, Photography. Okay, so we're going to grab the rectangular marquee tool and just kind of highlight this little area. Now, what the book says to do is to go Edit, Fill, and choose Content Aware Fill. And when you hit OK, it just kind of figures it out using artificial intelligence and fills it in. And that works just fine, but I wanted to show you a more complex way. I'm going to back up, Control Z. The way that you should do it if you have a more complex image is to go to Edit, Content Aware Fill, which is down just a little bit from where the normal fill is. The reason that you might want to do it this way is it's going to open up a new Content and Aware Fill space. And what's good about this is, do you see the green areas? It's kind of telling it, I don't want you to sample from those green areas. So we could say, here, let me if I kind of, let me see if I can get it to mess up for you to try to tell. I'm going to kind of tell it, sample from this, and let's see what it does. It's thinking about it. No, I'm trying to make it mess up, and it's not doing. Well, do you see how it kind of added something weird in there? Because what I've done is told it you can use any of this stuff to fill that area. And we don't want it to use any of this stuff. So I actually need to, let me put it back. Now, well, let's see if that'll do it. Okay, so it's just what you can do is tell it, you can go and tell it, please only use this area here to fill this in. Don't use his face. Don't use this stuff down here to fill it in. So the difference was, I'm going to go ahead and apply this, hit OK. And it fixed it. You can see it's not a huge difference, but with some photos, it will be a difference. So the way the book said was to go to Edit Fill. And the way I did was go Edit Content Aware Fill and get the Content Aware fill to come up. And you get a lot more stuff. So to show you better what I was talking about, I've kind of got a different photo. Let me I'm going to use the quick selection tool, which we've used before, to just select everything that's up here. So let's say we want to change all of this sky to look like these stones. I don't know why we would want to do that, but let's act like we want to do that. I'm going to go up to Content Aware Fill just to show you what this does a little bit better. So right now, so the Content Aware Fill comes up, and right now this is kind of showing us a preview of what it would look like. That does not look too good. You can see that it tried to make a weird mixture of all of these green stuff down here. I just want it to look like the stone. So if you look over here, this is giving us a preview. Everything that in green, if you kind of look at this, it's showing where it is sampling from. So we can say, show me where this is sampling from. And if you look at it right now, it is sampling to turn up there everything that's here and here. That doesn't make any sense. We actually need it to be the opposite. So I'm going to go tell it, no, I want you to just be grabbing the stone. And so the artificial intelligence, and then I'm actually going to exclude. So let me do this and see what it does. See, it's thinking down here. It's thinking. Okay, that looks a lot better. That looks, well, it doesn't look better, but that's what I wanted. So I just had to tell it, I want you to look at all of this stuff. And we can even say, we can exclude some stuff and say, I don't want you to look at any of this down here. Don't average that in. And pretty much don't average this in either. I just want the stone. And so it's going to think about it again, and it had already done a pretty good job, but you see it's recalculating. There we go. Now all we have is stone back there. And then I can hit OK, and it has filled that in with stone. So that is what Content Aware Fill does when you open it up that way. The only other thing I want to tell you about this week is the book tells you how to do something, and it's fine, but it's not the best way. What it says to do is go to Image, Adjustments, Brightness and Contrast, and I think it wants you to bring brightness to 40. It's just making it brighter so you can see before, after. That's great, but if I hit OK, it's now there and it's permanent. That is not the best way to do it. So every time it tells you to go up to File, Adjustment, you need to do it a different way. I'm going to hit Control Z to back up. The best way to do this is to not go up to File, Adjustment, but to add an adjustment layer. Those are right here at the bottom of your Layers panel. So you're going to click on that and add the Brightness and Contrast Adjustment layer. This is the way everybody does it. I don't know why the book's telling you differently. When you do that, you can still, it tells us to put it on 40. I'm just going to type in 40. Okay, what the difference here is, do you see that now it is on its own separate layer? So we could turn it off, we can delete it, we can back up. It's a much better idea to put it on an adjustment layer. So anytime the book tells you to go up to File and go to Adjustment, just go to the adjustment layers, which is right here. That is the way all professionals do it, okay? Otherwise, this is a pretty simple book, a simple chapter, but this shouldn't be a problem for you, and you should be able to get through it pretty quickly. Okay, get to work.